We're going to be putting in a vapor barrier and crawl space that I already did some pre-work to. I'm going to use the taping system. I've seen people do the taping system, the Christmas trees, many different methods. But I'm going to use a two-tape system, just something I felt would be a little bit better. A lot of people use those Christmas tree accrements, but I didn't want to do that because when you're having seepage problems, I think drilling holes into it just, exasperates the problem. So anyways, we'll see how. Okay, so this is the crawl space I've been working in. First thing I did was vacuum up all of the spider webs, etc., etc. And then I sprayed everything for bugs, let it sit a week, came back in, painted all the ceiling white. There was no water damage or any mold or anything like that. And then the basement walls, I cleaned them very good. I ground down any mold that had that was at the base from a little bit of seepage that was coming through. And I dry locked everything with 2 coats of dry lock. So I've had a dehumidifier running in here for probably 3 weeks with a fan, and I got it nice and dry. So next thing is to put the vapor barrier down. I want to go up the wall a couple of feet. So I measured obviously the distance from one end to the other, added about 4 feet to go up each end, laid it out on the basement floor, cut it, and this is a 12 mil. Everything I've been reading, you should go 6 to 20, so this is kind of in the middle. So that's where I'm at right now. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'll fold all this up, put it in the crawl space, spread it out, and then start to apply it. I'll be using 3 kinds of tape. This is double-sided butyl sealant tape. This is zip flashing tape, so this will hold it to the wall, it'll form a seal, and then this will be maybe 2 inches below the edge, and then I'm also going to zip tape it to the wall itself, and that should be like a double adherence. I also have the wide vapor barrier tape for my seams. I was hoping to do 1 piece in the crawl space, but it's kind of expensive to do 1 piece. You have to have it basically custom cut, so I elected to just go with the roll. And they're 10 feet wide, so I'll have one seam, so not a big deal. Before I start putting the plastic in, I'm gonna go around and pick up all these like sharp pieces of cement and chunks and whatnot of anything, any kind of debris that could poke through the plastic. You just might want to get all that up, kind of level it off as best you can. Okay, I installed the double-sided butyl tape all the way around. I just followed just below a mortar joint, and in the corners I want to drop down for the opening of the crawl space, obviously, but I just kind of pushed it on the wall, about every foot, just to get it adhered to the wall. Then we'll do the plastic, and I will go over the top of it with the plastic, and then I will go behind it with a roller to make sure it's all pressed on really good. So the next step is to start laying the plastic out and cutting of the corner to get the corner to fit nice and tight. Okay, so I got my plastic spread out for the most part, trying to keep it clean, but it's kind of a lost cause as far as like little debris and whatnot. Anyway, I started peeling off the second side of the double-sided tape, the wax paper, and then in the corner I cut down, not all the way, but most of the way down, and made a flap so the corner will lay in a lot nicer. Once I get it adhered to the wall, I'll come back with the tape, the vapor barrier tape, the wide stuff, and I'll tape that flap secure too as well. And then when I'm all done, I'll go around the whole thing with the zip tape. So that's where I'm at right now. So I'm just gonna go around and continue pushing the plastic up there and get it all laid out. Okay, I got all the plastic in, and it is sticking to the walls through the butyl tape. I have to still tape up the corners and the seam. So right now I'm going to go around with all of the zip system tape, flashing tape, and then I will roll the zip system tape on as well as the butyl tape, so everything's really bonded well. So when you're installing the zip tape, want to make sure you push it, leave a little bit of slack so you can get it down inside these vertical mortar joints if you're doing a block foundation. Obviously, if it's a poured foundation, you won't have to do that. So I'm going along as I'm taping it, and then if you look closely, you can see the butyl double-sided tape is there. So I'm going along and I'm rolling that, and then I'm coming on the top and rolling the zip tape as well. And when I'm all done, I'll come along with the vapor barrier tape and tape up the flaps and then the seam down the middle. Okay, so I have all the zip tape up. I rolled everything, did it all the way around. So now I'm going to put the joint tape on. I did want to point out that most of the people on the internet recommend at least a 6-inch overlap. This is about a 13 by 13 Crawlspace, so mine is overlapped probably about 18 inches. More than enough, but yeah, most people recommend at least 6 inches. So I'm just kind of sweeping everything, getting some of the dust off, and I'm gonna follow up now with the vapor barrier tape. Okay, so we're all done. Went around with the zip tape all the way around. Rolled everything, the butyl tape below it, and then all my corners, the flaps that I made, the corners are all taped up. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but the overlap between the seam between the two is also taped. So the only pointers I have for you is that tape really sticks really good, and I bought the better stuff, the zip system. There's aftermarket stuff, but it's basically plastic with tar on one side, and it's crazy. It works crazy well. Anyways, so that's it. Hope you learned a little bit, and this took me about 3 hours to do, and it wasn't too bad. Having 2 people would be better, but I don't have any friends and nobody loves me, so I did it myself. So there you are.